What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to Challenge Boy Jared. Y'all, today we're going to be looking at a video from Anton Daniels. Shout out to this brother. But we going to have a conversation about K. Michelle trying to hold black men accountable. But
Well, being in Atlanta all this time and then going to Nashville, where it's predominantly
What?
white.
let's go ahead and get started because this really needs to be talked about. Sorry about that. Trying to get the clip right.
Well, being in Atlanta all this time and then going to Nashville, where it's predominantly
What?
white. One, they go home at 5 and 6 o'clock when they're producing because they go home to their families. Being a country singer, if you are a singer in country music, you're a man. If you are not married, it is not respected. Family is respected in country music in that space. But in our space, we are singing about side chicks. We are glorifying a lot of women. That's not what happens in Nashville. You
So while we looking at an industry passing around,
can't call a woman a bitch, a hoe in Nashville, because they'll never even listen to your music and your professional career will suffer. At what point in the black community do our men create real homes? And even talking, just our first time talking, and you said you didn't even mean for that to happen. Life happens. I'm not here to judge life. I'm looking at a successful black man that has the ability to literally turn the narrative on black family, you know? And my grandfather, I watched my uncles and everything. My whole family, they're married. I'm not the girl who didn't see what a man creating a black family is supposed to be. So I'm asking right now, black men, I got to my black men to really step up for black women and create families.
well, how can we step up for black women and create families when those very same black women refuse to listen to what black men are actually saying? If you have a bunch of brothers that are saying the same shit about black women, that's a problem. And not all black women are bad, but it's the fact of the matter is that it's a large percentage. There's a lot of baby mamas out there too. So how can we really have that conversation?
Yeah.
It's really not cool.
And the thing is, a lot of these women choose to become baby mamas. By the men they fucking with, they choose to become baby mamas.
Black men are attacking black women. And it's not a cool, they're not creating homes, they're creating babies everywhere.
I'm just not going for it, bro. Honestly, listen, she looked good in her hookup, and I understand that she's being emotional right now. So naturally, everybody is going to gravitate to it, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a deeper dive into this on the Q show tonight. But the fact of the matter is, they don't really want to hear the answer. Listen, I've been married for 21 years, literally. And guess what? The people that attack me the most are black women. You're gonna have to address the Glorillas. You're gonna have to address the Sexy Reds. You're gonna have to address the Meg the Stallions. You're gonna have to address all of the things that we see culturally that's basically incentivize women to leave men that they supposed to be with, and then ultimately embrace making the government their daddy. Like, I'm not gonna fall for the okie doke just because she crying about it. And so if we gonna have a real conversation, if we gonna be honest about the truth of what's really going on with the families, like, we've broken down the statistics. I've already emphasized that the overwhelming majority of black men take care of their children, and they not just having willy-nilly children everywhere and it's just playing along to get along. There's a small majority of women that is having the children with the minority of the men. And now we want to try to make it seem like that it's a black man's fault because we putting Cam Newton's feet to the fire, or all of these women keep coming on this platform and putting his feet to the fire. But that's not the reality for what really happens inside of our culture. What happens inside of our culture is, of course, you're going to have some bad actors. But I say this often, and I say, yo, I can fix 98, 99% of all men, and a 1 to 2% of men can still populate the overwhelming majority of women. And if you want to solve for a problem, then you have to address the people that are opening up their legs and having the majority of the children out of wedlock, instead of the men that are doing the thing that's responsible. And you can't just take a sports figure and say, I mean, yeah, you can say, yo, Cam, why you doing this, or why you ain't doing that, or whatever, so on and so forth. But our culture is trash, and our culture is often dictated by the consumers and the.
Here's what a lot of women don't want to listen to. The people like Cam Newton, they got a bunch of baby mamas and a whole bunch of kids and shit. That does not represent most black men. That represents a small percentage of black men. The black men that have children or are married, they don't represent them either. Guys like Cam Newton that are married, that aren't married, don't have a whole bunch of baby mamas and a whole bunch of kids. They do not represent the majority of black men. And Cam Newton represents a very, very small percentage of black men. Because he's an athlete, he's rich, and he has multiple kids by multiple different women. So he still doesn't represent most black men. So I wish they stopped pushing this fucking narrative of it's rare to find a black man that doesn't have any kids and is a good black man. I wish they stopped pushing that narrative, because y'all choose the men that y'all want, and y'all get those men that y'all not happy. Then y'all simply blame all black men when y'all know that's not the truth.
Biggest consumers in our culture is the women, and they are listening to each other. They're not listening to the men. And when you hear some of these women, and I don't even feel like saying their names right now because I just ain't got time for the bullshit right now, but when you see some of these women podcasters and they refuse to hold their constituents accountable, and I say they constituents because these are the women that continue to vote for them, put their money in their pockets, and so on and so forth. And we now see the pedestalization of single women, even in politics, with the Jasmine Crockett's and the AOCs and all of that stuff. What do you think is going to happen when y'all divested yourselves against y'all men, and then y'all started embracing the federal government for what it is that y'all got going on? And contrary to popular belief, some of the most successful men, it don't have nothing to do with marriage nowadays. As far as the entertainers is concerned, it has more or less to do with whether or not you resonate with your audience. And guess what? The reason why the black community, they resonate so well with the disasters and stuff that's happening is because that's our reality. That is our reality. Real talk.
It's not cool. And I'm asking you, other successful black men, you have to set an example as leads. The cute social media back and forth on black women. Black women are strong. Black women are where you come from, this and that. So there probably isn't any sympathy for you and just life happening, because there's so many other things around you going on that are not fair to black women. What is going on with the black family?
Why is it always our fault? Why are y'all always the victims? Jesus Christ. I was trying to avoid getting to this, and I was trying to wait to get to this, but I just had to give my thoughts on it.
We are consistently creating the cycle of kids who can't come home and see their daddy there. And they see their mama sad at night. At what point is the successful black man in this world going to step in and really create structure? I see white men doing it every day. I get to witness the best of both worlds every day. Getting on stage singing R&B, being Here in Atlanta, I get to sing R&B, but then I get to go to Nashville and be like, you mean you ain't staying out till 6 in the morning? You gonna go home to your family? You gonna write this song and leave at 5 and 6 because you gonna take care of your family and your wife? At what point? At what point do the successful black men build black families? We ain't gonna ever have a black family if y'all don't do it.
You know what? I blame both sides of it, and here's why. Because if there wasn't so many Pookies and Ray Rays running around the black community, we wouldn't have this problem with baby mamas. And also, if the older generation would have taught black women how to be women and not be strong and independent and not need a man, we wouldn't have this issue. But also, I blame the older generation of black men because they didn't teach these young bucks how to control their seed. Specifically the ones that got kids. But you can't sit here and blame a small minority of men for the problems for a whole community. It's a collective issue that needs to be tackled. And the problem is black women and black men are far apart on this entire subject. We simply not communicating. Communication is null and void. Black men say something, black women refuse to listen. Black women say something, black men refuse to listen. We can't have the conversation because the conversation that we need to have is being overshadowed by so many different other things. We as a community, we need to have this honest conversation with each other about a lot of the shit that's going on. Kevin Samuels tried to have that conversation, but like Anton, everybody hated them. Everybody hated them. And why? Because they simply telling the truth about the way that the black community operates and has operated for 50 plus years. The community that we are in is trash. The bullshit that we got going on is trash. All of the issues that the black community has has caused the community to be in a perpetual state of chaos. Nobody wants to listen to each other. It's all about pointing fingers here and there and everywhere in between, but never at the actual issue as a whole. We can't blame white people. We can't blame Latinos. We can't even blame the church at this point, because in the community, all of it comes from the same fucking issue, and that's the rift between black men and black women. If black women and black men didn't have the rift we have, we wouldn't have pimps in the church. We wouldn't have the bullshit with baby mamas, although there's gonna be baby mamas out there. We all know that. But it wouldn't be the amount that we have now. If we have fathers in the house in the 80s and in the 80s, we wouldn't have the issues we had in the 90s, in the early 2000s, and all that in between. We wouldn't be at each other's throats like we are now. That's the entire fucking truth. All the shit that's going on nowadays, all the hoes running around here acting like they something, all the Glorrillas, all the damn all the toxic femininity that's out here nowadays, all of that shit wouldn't be happening if the black community didn't have a rift between black men and black women. That wouldn't happen. But the problem is, we as a community are so wrapped up in this gender war that we refuse to look at the actual issues. Where are these issues coming from? We keep overlooking because we're trying to blame each other. Instead of us blaming each other, how about we shut the fuck up and listen to what each other actually got to say? But the problem is, both sides have too much pride in the situation. Both sides have a lot of pride. Black women have a lot of pride. Black men have a lot of pride. We're too contempt and blaming each other. And you know what other races are doing? They passing us on by saying, fuck you, and laughing. Y'all want to have the honest truth? We're gonna have that honest conversation. We keep going at each other's throats so fucking much so the other races keep on stoking the fucking coals, creating another fucking fire, and laughing at it. You want to know why white folks keep on getting ahead? It's because their community, although it may be shattered, crusted, and all the thing rusted, they still have a sense of community. They women listen to each other, and they men listening to each other. They collaborate on a lot of shit. And you know what that collaboration is? They collaborate with each other to basically keep everybody else split. The Latinos are starting to find it out the hard way right now. They're starting to find it out the hard way. The same shit that they did to the black community is the same shit they doing to them now. Divide and conquer. Stoke a little flame over here. Stoke a little flame over here. Stoke a little flame in the middle. And what do you know? You have a cascade effect. Everything starts to fall down. All the structures that were built starts to crumble. In the 70s and the 80s, it was unemployment. It was what's that damn case? Roe v. Wade. It was diversity, equity, inclusion. It was a multitude of different things that came and that caused the issues that we have going on now. All of this shit stoked from the 70s. Free love stoked from the 70s. And we got a lot of this shit now. If we didn't have the issues we had now, if the shit that didn't happen back then didn't happen, we would be in a better spot. Integration. I love my white friends. I love my white subscribers. I love all of it. But integration, a lot of the shit that goes on and that's going on in this country, it came from a lot of this shit. A lot of the issues that we have nowadays, we were integrated into it. Black people, white people, we were never really integrated to be equals. They integrated us, and because they saw that the black community never failed when it was holding its own. You mix in a whole multitude of different other things, that integration created a ripple effect. And that ripple effect caused the issues we got nowadays. Black women feeling like they're independent of black men not feeling that they're not adequate enough, or some of us aren't adequate enough. It caused an issue. Fathers not being in the house, all of that shit caused an issue. But no, we don't want to have that conversation. No, we don't want to have that conversation. You want to know why? The conversation is way too advanced for a lot of us to handle. Nobody want to hear it. Nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to actually sit down and have that honest conversation about what's going on in the black community that's causing all of this shit to happen. Anyways, I'm done talking about it. Y'all can figure that shit out yourself. I'm done talking about it. My ears hurting. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, channel, support the podcast, and spot.com. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for listening. Bye, guys.